everyone, this is Debbie from Ink and Paint, and I'm here today with a quick video about one of the new kits that I released today, which is the Cluster and Charms kit, which goes with the Manuscript collection, which I released last week. There's also two other kits that go with that came out today, which is the backgrounds that are all different texts from different novels, and then there are some library cards. But I did want to go through these. I thought it would be fun to make a couple together, and just kind of, see how the kit works and what maybe things you can do to add on to it, to kind of personalize these a little bit more. So I have a couple of the little samples that I've already made up, and these are just, using the pieces from the kit. I did add like a bulb pin here and a brad here. Let's just get started, and and some fabric and stuff here. So I'll show you what I have here today. I just got, what I got out is some washi tape. It's just assorted. Some of this is Tim Holtz and some of it is just random, stuff in my collection. I have a book page, and then I have some of this, I guess you could call it hardware, but it's just like little paper clips, medium-sized paper clips, more bulb pins, some eyelets, and a few charms, and some brads, some very tiny brads. And like a couple of those little charms there. And then I do have some little bits and pieces of paper that I have previously stamped on, and they're just hanging around here on the desk, so I thought I would include them, especially since some of these have like a library card stamp on it. So I thought that might be good for today. What I do is, like, if I have, these are big book page edges, and so like when I have a bunch of them, I'll just stamp on them and then just put them in my scrap drawer. So, okay, so that's those. And I think most of these stamps are Tim Holtz. Some of them might not be. This one might not be, but I'll have to look. And okay, so let's just go over the kit really quickly. We have a couple of extra papers. There's these, this is one of the background papers, but I thought it would be fun to maybe cut these strips up. And then there's also a washi strip page as well, also for you to rip up, to make sure that you had enough stuff to create layers. These also, you could easily create tags out of these pockets. One of the things I think, it can be important to remember when you're crafting like this is that just because this is what's in the kit, this is not what you're limited to. You also have these papers that, give you basically unlimited options. You can make pockets, you can make tags, you can make labels, you can punch shapes out of these, you can cut shapes out of these. So there's a lot of options with the paper. So I'll try to go over some of those today as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and just get started making a couple of these guys and see what happens. Okay, so there's a couple different kinds. There's two different kinds of tags, and then there's this label style. And some of them have an orientation, but like some of them like this do not. So you could use these either in whatever orientation that you want it in. So you could use them like this if you wanted. You could use them like this. It doesn't matter. The flowers, and then there are the bookshelves, which would be a little funkier if you tried to lay them on their side, but and then there's the curved top tags, and then the like normal top tags, and then I have a bunch of book bases because I thought that would be fun for this kit. So these are kind of old faded manuscripts, and I thought they might make some fun bases for us. So let's get started here and see what we're going to do. I am enjoying myself by matching the letters and stuff. Oh, I forgot about the typewriter keys. There's also typewriter keys, little charms for that as well, which is on this one here. So there's a bunch of different kinds of letters, the illuminated ones, these, and then there's words, and there's at least one word for every letter in the alphabet. Some of them are a little harder to do than others. was trying to tangentially relate it to the theme of the manuscript kit. Some of them are a little loose, but you know. So I've been picking out, you know, whatever word kind of calls to me, and then just going from there, and seeing what I can find in here. Ooh, let's do this one. We can do Fable. These are make cute little pockets on the ends of these. Let's see which one we want to use. We can use this here. These make cute little pockets on here as well. So I'm gonna grab some glue here, and I'm gonna make a little tuck spot out of this. You know, you can pretty much make a tuck spot or a pocket out of anything that you have, which is great because then you can customize the size of your pockets to what you're doing. There we go. We'll put that Fable on there. So the F on there, and then we'll add the Fable onto it. Okay, so I want to see what I want to put in my pocket. There are a couple of ink bottles, but not many. But, you know, definitely bring in ephemera from the other kit, or you could bring in any other ephemera you just happen to have on your desk. That would work as well. So you could pretty much just put anything you wanted in here. This kit is pretty flexible in terms of its color palette. So, and, you know, so you could even bring in, you know, scraps from other projects, from Nature's Neutrals, anything. It's a pretty, you know, wide color palette on this one. So we could also put in, let's see, do we have an F here? That's the only problem with this, is that you have to sort through all of your, it's E. Eureka, I found the F. So we could, let me just go ahead and, I'm going to ink around this. I did ink a bunch of this already, but I didn't have time to ink every single piece. So now we can add this on here. And I think I will use a brad for this one. I have my hole punches here too. Okay, so I have my hole punch here. And I'm just going to punch a hole here. I love this like kind of angled situation on the corner. I'm just going to try to get it close to the top of that F key. There we go. And then I'm going to grab one of my teeny tiny brads here, and I'm going to stick that in there. And then, you know, these little bits and pieces, you know, if you have these done ahead of time, it makes it a lot easier to just add stuff into your journal. You can just use these to embellish pockets, use them to embellish pages, pretty much anything you want to do with them, they can be done. And then I think I kind of want to put Fable across the front here. I know it obscures that F a little bit, but I think we could put it a little bit lower maybe. Just to get that to be the focal point. And if you wanted to too, you could layer something behind this. I'm not going to do that right now, but it's definitely an option. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut that so that it doesn't affect my pocket. I'll do this side. Make sure that's straight. And we'll have a bunch of cute ephemera to stick into our manuscript journals. I don't want this to mess my pocket up. There we go. I'm going to do a little ink on the side here. And then we have a little tiny tuck spot and a cute little tag here. I'll put that on our section there. Okay, let's do one with a book base. I think that's the one that's one of my favorite ones. I like these ones that are like multi-patterned. Also the marbled ones are really cool. Okay, let's go with this one. I'm gonna add a little extra ink on there. And then let's see what we want to do on the sky. We could do one of these little flags. That kind of goes with that. And I'm going to go with draft for this one. And I'm going to cut off just the bottom here. I did leave like pretty long spaces on either side of these just for some flexibility in terms of like, you know, do you want to use a punch on this? Do you know, like, do you want to punch a hole in either end and use it like a little, you know, belly band type situation? You know, I just wanted to maximize our options here with these, and then hopefully they were easier to cut out. I just did mine like in the paper cutter, like boom, 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 right down the whole row. And it only took a minute to cut these out. And I love having tons of words, and these are kind of tons of weird words. So, you know, there's that as well. And you could maybe put some of them together. I'm thinking about Dusty Draft might be cute. I'm going to do that one. And pre-ink that guy. You also use these on the library pockets. Oops, I forgot I was going to cut this. Let's see here. Cut that right there. We could also rough up the end of this since our draft, you know, we're using Dusty Draft here. It occurs to me I should have done this the other way around. Okay, I just had a forced break because one of my daughter's friends showed up, and so the dogs had to go say hi. So, anyway, so back to this. I recut this so that I could use it so it says Dusty Draft like this way instead of Draft Dusty, which is what it used to say. So that is making my brain much happier. And so let's go ahead and attach this, and let's see what we're going to do here. So I've got a draft, I've got Dusty, and I want to see if I want to add anything else in here. I want to use a brad again because I like how you can like turn the letters a little bit so that you know, to arrange them kind of like the way that you want them to be arranged. I'm gonna rip this a little bit closer on the, so there's no like white margin on the outside of it. And then it'll be more like narrow and kind of in keeping with the ephemera that I already have on here. Okay, with that. I do love the brads, I have to say. I'm a fan of that situation. Okay, so I'm gonna have to punch these all separately because my hole punch can't handle it. You can also just use an awl to put these holes in. I find that they also make really nice, like little, you know, nice holes in it. In the, oops, I didn't do this one after all that. Okay. There we go. Okay, so what the heck is that? I will get one brad here and put these guys through here one at a time. I have very inky fingers from my previous inking escapades. Okay, let me just get those split. Now I have Dusty Draft here. And I'm just going to arrange these to my liking here. I could go like in a little pocket or something like that. And we could even add like, we could add more to this if we wanted, because I did leave like kind of a big open space. We can put one of our ink bottles on here too. Let's see if I like this guy better. I think this one. This would be like a cute little piece of ephemera to stick inside your pockets or your tuck spots, or just anything that you kind of want to, like, you know, put a little decoration on. I'm going to grab a little bit of book page here and just put that behind my, oops, bottle right there. Then I'm going to put that in the middle and the bottle off to the side there. All right, just like a quick glue here, and then we'll be on our way. Right, and then one more little thing here. Okay. And we have all of our cute little ephemera there, so we can print that one on our done pile. Okay, so I want to do one more, and I think, let's see, I want to put an eyelet in this one, I think, and let's see. We'll use one of our, probably we could use one of our illuminated letters here. We could use B here. Oh, I'm wondering, should I use this one instead? I always have to look at all my options. Yeah, I think this one. The other thing too is you could always put this on something bigger, like if you wanted to use some of the paper that came with the kit, you know, just to like, oops, that's upside down, just to like kind of enlarge the piece There's this like super big library card paper here too as well. I ripped up a couple of mine. I don't have them all ripped off yet, but you know, just to create like something like a little bit extra on yours. One thing I really love doing is creating like a little border on the tag with a piece of paper. So just like any paper. I wanted to mention, I did print, I forgot to say this at the beginning. I printed everything on 110 pound cardstock except for these washi like strip pieces of paper. They're on like just normal copy paper. So that they're easier to tear and layer. And I find the like different types of materials together also kind of makes it a little, oh my gosh, I did the wrong tag. I'll do this one. Okay, let's do this one, and I'll glue something else on the other one. Go. We can trim that off. And use one of our words here. I'll put that one on first because I want it to be slightly off here. And then I'll add this on, and I'm gonna put an eyelet in this guy, I think, so we can make a nice mini tag out of this one. Make sure I got ink up there. Okay, I'm gonna have to trim bibliophile. I'll trim all this actually all at once. Ooh, I cut that one really close. Okay, now let's do a quick eyelet on here. Just been checking my orientation here. And I'm gonna pop an eyelet in there. That's a little snug, which is probably good. Okay, and then we'll just do a little squeeze in there, and now we got our cute little eyelet in there. And now we could either use one of the bulb pins to attach it to the edge of a page, or to, you know, one of the things is like if you do like a belly band and the belly band is made out of fabric, you can always pin these to those, which is super cute as well. So we'll save that for like when we're actually doing a journal, but for right now, that's pretty cute for that. And then I have this guy here who I put glue on that he needs some help right now. So let's see what we can put on him real quick. I think that might be a little overbearing for that right there. But we could just, maybe we'll give him some numbers. Let's see what else we got for this one. We could, okay, so let's put an eyelet in this guy too. And, oh wait, which is my side? This is my side. Put that in. Do this one really quick. Okay, squeeze that one down. Okay, and we could do like, what do we have for our little charms here? This one says love, wander. This is number 365, which is funny because that says 365. So let's go with that one. And I'm not sure if we'll... I think I could feel curio on this one. Okay, so let's see. Scissors are... I know I was supposed to make that one my last one, but I'm just going to do this one really quickly and just add these guys onto here as like little charms onto the top. So it will only take me a second. And you could also add like the typewriter key if you wanted as well. I did a better job cutting some of these out than others, but I guess that's always the case, right? Okay, so let's try this with I guess we'll just try a pin for now. But even if you just wanted to do like the one like word tag and a charm, you know, like that, you could do that, and that would be super simple. You could even put like a little piece of ribbon or fabric behind this if you wanted to as well. Like, so there's like a lot of like options. They don't all have to be complicated, you know, like they can be super simple too. Just, you know, whatever you feel like doing. And oh my goodness, I'm having a day today. I forgot to put the tag on first. Yeah, it has been a day today. So, but you know, sometimes it's just like that. And I definitely wanted to get a few minutes in to craft before I went to bed because, you know, when you have a long day, sometimes this is like the perfect way to end it. There we go. There we go. So now we got another one. So now we have quite a few of these guys. And, you know, when we were doing 3 wishes, I found it so helpful to have finished ephemera just to stick in there. It makes, like, putting together, like, the final journal super quick and easy. So, all right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this and you made a couple of little mini clusters for your journals as well. These would probably fit, you could probably fit these into almost any journal. So if you would please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll have a new chapter of the Starcatcher's Journal on Monday, and hopefully some other stuff coming up too. So I will see you guys very soon. Thank you so much for joining me.